I'm going to be nice. I'm going to set my steak aside.
Oh,
Sounds like a plan since you're not offering us any.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the SpeakerMC Show, where it's all about relationships. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Marcia Chambers, and I am your host for this evening. If you're new to the show, let me give you some background info. The show is 60 minutes. It's free-flowing conversation, non-scripted. We have 2 guests, and tonight we just might have 3, which is even exciting. We are going to explore a specific topic on 3 levels. Level 1, what is the current relationship problem and how can we identify it? Level 2, we're going to break it apart to discover the real root of the issue. And level 3, we're going to offer some tips and possible solutions to resolve the issue. The conversation is built around a specific topic, and tonight the topic is, she's my boss. Yeah. We're going to explore the dynamics that take place when a woman is in a position of power in a relationship. And this is going to be so much fun. But before I introduce our guest tonight, let me just do some housekeeping. The aim of the show is, 1, for our audience to educate and empower you with information about creating the most harmonious environments and boosting your self-confidence, self-esteem. 2, for our guests, the importance is to share the opportunity to broadcast your business to another circle of influence. And 3, for all attendees, to just have fun. Have fun. Have fun.
All for fun.
All right. Yes.
That's right.
Hey, Kimi. Nice to meet you.
Our guests will also share a gift with our audience at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned. Now, I'd like to introduce our guest tonight. And we have 3 ladies here. Woohoo! And 1 gentleman. Woohoo! And of course, I'm your host, Marcia Chambers. So let's go to our first guest, who is Kimi Avary. Kimi is called the Relationship Navigation Specialist. I got that right, Kimi? And she is from the Berkeley, California area. Her company is called Avary International Inc. You can find Kimi on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn as the Conscious Couples Network. Kimi is a navigation specialist, and she's been doing this for over 20 years. So she knows her chops, people.
Right.
She has been coaching, and she works with couples to help them to save their relationships. Please put your hands together and help me welcome Kimi Avary.
Thank you so very much. I'm thrilled to be here, Marcia.
Yes,
We've been talking about this for a while. Yay.
I know, and thank you for being here.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Our next guest is Mr. Beyer. Now, Fox Beyer is...
Beyer, actually, but don't worry.
It's Beyer?
Yes.
Fox Beyer. Thank you for that correction.
You're welcome.
Fox is from the Chatham, New Jersey area. Fox is a teacher, an author, a speaker, and a coach. And he just began his speaking career within the past 2 years. His message is talking about what it is like to live with cerebral palsy. You can find Fox on foxbuyer.com. I have to get used to calling you Beyer because I've been saying Beyer all this time.
That's quite all right.
Beyer.com. And we'll put up the information in the chat box. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Fox Beyer.
Thank you, Marcia. It's great to be here. We met in June. This was in the works, and here I am.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you both for being here. And we have a surprise guest tonight. Now, I don't have the information for Miss LaWanna Parker, but LaWanna, if you wouldn't mind giving our guests just a tidbit of LaWanna Parker. You're in the Sacramento, California area, am I correct?
Yes, I am. And that's what happens when you poke your nose in. I just began my speaking career this year, and I mainly work with women who are 40 and over because we have something in common. All of a sudden, the kids are out of the home, and we're wondering what can we do next? What's for us? And so what I try to do is help people reconnect with a dream that maybe they set aside and thought they couldn't do it. Now that they're older, it's too late. And for me, that's been a wonderful journey. And so I help others try to take that same journey of discovering what it is that they want to do and going after it. It's exciting doing that. I'm also a co-author of 2 books, one which is an international award-winning book.
Nice.
And working on another one. So I'm excited. Those are 2 dreams that I had when I was a kid, and I put them aside. We won't go into the reasons why now, but suffice it to say, I am pushing on.
That's right. That's right. Well, welcome, Miss Parker, and bow down.
Yay.
Thank you all for being here tonight. And of course, you're wondering, who is that loudmouth? Well, my name is Marcia Chambers, and I am the host of your show this evening. I am a speaker, an online personality, author, and creator of Swell for Women. I'm launching this product, Swell. Swell is sexual wellness and empowered lifestyle living for women. Yes, my audience is over 35 to 55. And with Swell, I help women to gain the confidence in the bedroom to achieve sexual wellness with the use of toys and expand their sexual vocabulary. Can you say that 10 times fast? Expand your sexual vocabulary.
Marcia, you'll appreciate this. On my way back to the hotel, we had to turn on Admiral Cochrane Drive. One of my very good friends likes to say cock. So my husband and I were having a very good laugh about talking about Admiral Cochrane Drive.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes.
Since we're on that topic, I'm actually wearing a South Carolina Gamecock shirt. So
Gamecock shirt. Wow. We're having a cock full
2001 graduate class right here. Go Gamecocks.
Well, I don't have anything as entertaining. All I can say is I read a very interesting book early this morning.
What's the name of the book? What's the name of the book?
Devil's Plaything.
Oh, I like it. I like it. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about She's the Boss. And usually with this show, the SpeakerMC Show, it's inspired by some kind of personal interaction somewhere along the line. So the other day, I had gone to an event. And at the event, I was introduced to this lady. And, well, actually, this couple. And the gentleman, after the woman walked away, she went to go get something. I don't remember what it was. But we were left alone with a lot of men, a lot of his friends, and just a couple of us as other women. So long story long, the guy said to him, hey, you know, say his name is Fox. Hey, Fox, we're going to play some golf next week. You want to come? There's a tournament going on. And he said, you know what? Let me ask my wife. And everybody looked at him like, huh? And he said, yeah, she pays the bills. I got to ask my wife. And he said it so confidently and with such comfort, I was impressed. Because you know how guys are, oh, she pays the bills. Oh, you know, that macho ego. So it brings me to the story because I remember when I was in corporate I worked alongside a woman, and she made significantly much more than her husband. And we'll delve into this later on in the program. But when the husband would come to her, she had an office, so she closed the door. But you could hear her from the outside, like screaming at this man. For what reason, I really don't know. You're in an office. Why are you screaming at this man? But she did it so constantly. He felt so emasculated. By the time he came out of the office, his head was bowed. And, I felt so bad for him. So it's the two dynamics there. You have the man who's so comfortable. Yeah, she makes more than me. So what? And then you have the other one, for whatever reason, he's put into a position where he feels so ashamed. So, ladies and gentlemen, what happens? Hey, Daddy. When
That was my son.
what happens when a woman is placed, and we're gonna delve into the two areas. So the first area is in the intimate relationship, and then we can go to the corporate arena, because I know, Kimi, that's also your specialty. So in the intimate relationship, can we delve into that aspect? What happens when the woman has such, I don't know, she's placed into that position, she's in the control of the situation. Have you guys ever come across something in that light?
I deal with it all the time with my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to do with how a woman perceives herself when she's making more money. She can either be emasculating to her partner or empowering. And sometimes if it has to do with sort of an underlying attitude. And the attitude is, well, we think, a misperception about men, for instance. We think that men, when they make more money, that they think that they're in control. And we think when we make the money, we're in control. And it has nothing to do with control. And Fox, you can chime in. It has more to do with accountability for providing and protecting the people that they claim are theirs. So being the final decision maker has more to do with how you're showing up being accountable. And so that's one piece, right, Fox? You're nodding your head.
I like the word accountability for sure.
Yeah.
I need to provide and to do what you say you're going to do, even to yourself. Maybe the word there is credibility as well. But I like the word. Yes.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, thank you. And that's perfect, because accountability is a word that men really relate to. And when a woman makes more money, she often feels like now she's in charge and she's got the final say, but she doesn't always understand the accountability piece. And can I tell you a little story?
Please.
My, a couple I know closely, he was the stay-at-home dad for their child, because he was making about the same amount of money as a daycare provider would. So they decided that he would be the stay-at-home dad, and his wife was the executive. And I'll call them Laura and Michael.
Okay.
Made up to protect the innocent. So
I'm with you.
Laura was making a lot of money, and she didn't get this accountability piece. Meanwhile, Michael is taking care of all the finances, systematically making sure the house is taken care of, the child is raised, he gets cuddle time with the baby, but he's very diligent about providing and being accountable for the house and the family, right? So then Laura gets a big bonus and decides she needs a big vacation. Her job is incredibly stressful because she's a CEO level top executive person. So she decides to go on a girls' vacation trip to England. And they go pub crawling. She's having a great time. Meanwhile, they've just bought a house. So Michael's a little stressed. Laura comes back and she says to Michael, I want to send you on vacation with your twin brother for, feeling a little guilty because she just took this 2-week vacation. Michael says, look, That's very sweet of you. And I want you to come out to the backyard. Next time you want a vacation, you need to walk around this backyard on our brand new house, and you need to remind yourself that this is your vacation right now.
Ooh.
Because he's about being accountable, right?
Yes.
Like, I need a vacation, you know?
Yes.
So there are certain things that
I like it.
they had to work out. And the masculine energy is always about providing, protecting, and producing the result of taking care of the people that they claim are theirs. And this is like your commitment circle, right? And women don't have that as much. We have a different relationship to commitment and accountability and that. So I tell that story because it's if a woman is disempowering to her man, then the battles start, right? If she can continue to empower him so that they're partners instead of one higher above the other, then you can work it out with the finances. If you don't do that, you're going to have big problems.
So let me just play devil's advocate. Isn't it also, besides the accountability piece, which I really respect that, isn't it also respect? Doesn't it also delve into the aspect that, well, do you really respect this person as a man, as a human being, as your partner, as the person that you chose to spend the rest of your journey with? I mean, there has to be that level also.
Absolutely. And so most women, especially all of our age groups and the women who were raised in the 60s and 70s, we were conditioned to be strong, powerful women and not need men. And so the idea that we say we want partnership, but our culture systematically disempowers men. A couple years back, there were t-shirts that they were selling in the girls department. Boys are stupid, throw rocks at them. I sent petition letters to this company. I was so horrified. It's like this right that we think we have to put down the men in our lives. We have sexist jokes that we make. There's, it's a cultural perspective, and those men end up leaving the relationships, going off to date people in foreign countries because those women need them, because if we're too busy saying I've got it all together, I don't need you, then there's no room for a man in our life, and a man won't stick around if he's not needed.
Well, that's true.
The systematic emasculation that is prevalent in our culture is sort of what I call the dark side of feminism. And it's definitely created more problems, and we're in the process of reorganizing. And that's what my business and all my work is about reorganizing so women can appreciate men and men can feel appreciated and men therefore appreciate women. And it's like this amazing harmony.
So, Fox.
Yes.
Based on our dialogue here, what do you want to bring to the table as the only man in this estrogen-filled dynamic?
I don't know if I can bring anything, but I can. No, I like the part that Kimi used, want to be needed. Certainly, I feel like that's true in my case. One of the biggest problems I have as a person is offering people help that don't necessarily need help. So that goes to show you, as a man, I want to provide and I want to be needed, and I do it even in situations where or when it's not necessary. Maybe to give you an example, going back, I don't know, a bunch of years, a colleague was trying to help out a colleague. I'm a school teacher. This colleague obviously was female, and she was absent. And I think knowing that she was going to be absent, I emailed her a bunch of times, do you need help? And she had it handled, right? And so I get this nasty email back like, shut up, stop it, I can handle it.
Wow.
And while it was nasty, it just, in a way, I'm not saying she had a right, but she had it handled. And I knew it, but just as a man, I wanted to provide and help. So totally agree with Kimi's point of view there about a man wanting to be needed. That's certainly one of my problems as a man.
Well, as the oldest person in the block here.
LaWanna, do it. Where's the steak?
I was brought up in the generation where the man was the head of the household, and that was a real culture shock for me because things were starting to change when I became an adult, and to accept that was difficult for me to step back and, okay, he's the head, I'm the helper. Over the years, we learned to go side by side, but in the beginning, I hit my hackles up because, hey, I am a woman and I can take care of it. They told me I could. I was told that I didn't need any assistance, so it was a little trying to remember. Okay, the guy is still the head of the house, and I do respect him for that. Today, I've learned that it's a mutual thing, and we have to work together, and that's what we've done. Because there have been a few times when I was the sole breadwinner, and yeah, come to think of it, there were a few of those times. It would have been nice to have that reverse, now that I think about it. But we worked it out. We worked it out, and it worked fine for us. Hey, 48 years with one person.
Wow.
Long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, LaWanna. And it's interesting because what you're describing is, well, actually, I'll say this. When I work with couples, there's a huge amount of, like, I scrap the whole idea of what a marriage or a relationship should look like, and then put the pieces back together. And it may look like a traditional marriage. It may look like what you were familiar with growing up, right? But it may not. And being open to putting the pieces together and making conscious deals, I think, is the key. Because, as Fox was saying, needing to be needed is really important. And when, one of the biggest gifts women can give to the men in their lives is be receptive. He says, hey, can I carry that box? Hey, can I open that door? Can I do this for you? And you say, oh, thank you, with a big smile.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Fox, what does that do for you when a woman accepts your help and she gives you a big smile?
It makes you feel good. It changes your day. Now, keep in mind, too, I'm the guy with a hitch in my get-along. So just to put it like that, even today, leaving work, walking out with a female colleague, walking outside, she opened the door and the door stayed open. And I went back to close the door and she sprinted in front of me. No, I got it.
Wow.
If she had just backed off, I wouldn't be talking about it right now. But I remember that because it's my need, I think, in two aspects. I'm a male and I'm a guy that I don't want anybody to see this crooked gate, but I can't escape it.
Right. It reminds me of a story of a woman who I took a training with. Her father, he was like 80 or 90 years old in this retirement home. And every time she'd visit him, he would try and slip her a $20 bill to go do something nice for herself. And she was always like, Daddy, I got it taken care of. I'm all good. And he would be kind of crushed, right? And then he learned about men needing to be needed. And so he gave her the $20 bill and she said, oh, thank you so much. You're my hero. And he just was crying and so happy that he could contribute to his daughter. And I would imagine with you, Fox, that's when you get to contribute and you've got the extra dynamic of people thinking that they need to help you.
Yeah, right.
Which is, not only are you a man, but you're a man who's got, what did you call it? The special gate.
Yeah, GAIT.
Right, exactly.
I didn't know what that was until about 10 years ago. So.
Right. And so, people will unintentionally try to help, they'll intentionally try to help you thinking that they're helping, but men hate to be helped for the most part.
We do. I mean, we appreciate it, but yeah.
Yeah, I tell women to ask the men, do you need some support here? Mm-hmm. And if so, what? And believe you when you tell her, right? Say, no, I've got it. Really back off and let you do it. But the idea that we decide that we need to go help you is so disempowering. Mm-hmm. Like orchestrating everything, and men just sort of go, oh, and then we end up taking on more and more, and then we're resentful and we're pissed off. Yeah. You can't win either way, right?
I'm just mapping it right out. Mapping it right out. You make so many good points. Like, a hard thing for me in two ways. I'm talking about myself so much, and I apologize, but is to accept help. A, man. B, because I have this hitch in my get along again. Like, and I'm perceived, as this nice guy, but even
aren't you?
I am a nice guy, but let me backtrack. Let's go with a personal story. Okay?
I mean, I remember you as a nice guy,
Well, thank you. How about this? In airports, okay? You know those carts that drive around with people, sitting on the back?
Yeah.
Taking them to the gates and everything like that, anywhere you go. I mean, there's not a time that goes by that I go to the airport where someone doesn't ask me, hey, you want to ride? I'm like, and I have to think for a second. Oh, wait a minute. I got to think how I look to other people. But again, like, I don't want to accept that help. I get to an elevator and I see the stairs next to it. I'm going to take the stairs. I think it's more than a date thing. I think it's a man thing too.
Oh.
And it's a use it or lose it mentality. It sounds like you've got to I'm gonna use my body right now as best I can, and I think that's really a great way to be,
Because, Miss Sunshine would be right there. My wife would be right there watching me. Who knows?
What do you call her, Sunshine? That's my name, okay?
No, I'm saying my sunshine might be right next to the elevator. This guy takes the stairs. He must be buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is the SpeakerMC Show, and tonight our guests are breaking apart the topic, when she is boss, or she's my boss. And we were initially discussing the dynamic in the intimate relationship. I now want us to segue into the corporate arena, because I brought to the table the story of the woman and how she always emasculated her husband when he came to the office to meet her. Now, women who make a lot more money than their men, it seemed to me that, like LaWanna had pointed out, that we were used to being in that position where we are subservient, for lack of a better word, to the male dynamic. And maybe this could be, and I'm not saying it is or it isn't, I would like you guys to flesh it out. Maybe this could be the reason why when women get into that position, they no longer respect or are accountable to the male secretary, so to speak. So the woman is the boss and she has a male assistant. And now that we have sexual harassment so rampant, how is that threading out, so to speak, in the corporate arena? Because if women are not respecting the males as just the male figure, it added on to that layer. Now she's in a position of power and she has some authority. The disrespect is rampant. You guys want to talk about that?
LaWanna?
Thank you. I was lucky. I didn't run into a problem with that because, for one thing, I think I had a way of carrying myself that people sort of accepted and respected me for that. I did have a supervisor one time who tried to put me into that position, and I had to take her aside later and say, that's not how I want to move up. If I move up, it's because I earned it, not because I did things that weren't exactly appropriate, but she felt that I had some great qualities, and that was going to be my only way of getting there. So I've never run into the sexual harassment problem. And in fact, I remember one time, one of the male members, I hadn't seen him in a long time. When he came into the office, I gave him this great big old hug and said, "Boy, we miss seeing you around here." And another female employee passed by, and I said, "And if I hear about this hug," but you know, I've just been lucky because I like being treated as a lady. I like it when a man opens the door for me or offers to help me do something. It doesn't matter what level of power I'm at. I just like men to be men. And
so
I make
so you're
fuss about it.
receptive.
Thank you for opening that door. It's so good to know there's still men around.
So you're receptive to it then, LaWanna.
You are
Yes.
so amazing, LaWanna. Your gracious way of being.
Yes.
And I'm sure, like, did that take you far in your workplace?
It did. It was funny. Not when I worked for the phone company. As I said, I had someone who was trying to push me in a different type of way. But when I went into the private sector, all of a sudden, I was valued more at what I was doing. And I moved up. I went there as a receptionist because I haven't worked for the phone company for so long. Anytime I transferred, they automatically would train me for that new position.
Oh.
And because of the number of years I was with them, I went to top pay. I didn't earn the top pay. I automatically went there. And there's a difference when you earn something and when they just hand it to you because of your number of years with the company. So when I went there, I went in as a receptionist. And I worked my way up to being an administrative assistant, knew nothing about secretarial work or anything, but I learned through the process of being a receptionist. And from there, because someone didn't want to handle the calls of trying to find out what happened to tickets, because we had people in 13 states that traveled, but they were doing their own tickets. And we had like $10,000 worth of tickets that was unaccountable for. And someone handed it to me, and being low man on the totem pole, I checked these tickets, and a lot of them weren't going to be expired. Some had. And I just called these airlines and said, "Look, we're a nonprofit group, and we're accountable for this money. I have tickets from people who either forgot they had it or were not aware that there was a time limit. Can you extend it so I can have these people use it?" I saved them over $10,000 that year in just doing that. And so I became the person to book the tickets, keep track of where they went, the whole 9 yards. I created a whole job for myself just from doing that.
Wow.
So yes, I expanded. I think the things that I did helped me. And I see you being a Toastmaster. You will appreciate this.
You have two Toastmasters on here.
Is that right? Oh, right.
That's right. Margaret is a Toastmaster too.
I got to MC when we hit our 25th anniversary.
Ooh.
We had 3 different directors who retired, and I was the roast and toast person for that.
Toast.
And here last year, when one of the directors retired, I've been gone from the company for 5 years. When they called and asked me if I would do the retirement party for him, do the
That's
hosting.
awesome.
So it's great knowing that you do these things and you earn it and you're rewarded. Big difference. I started out lower working there, but I appreciated every dime that I earned.
That's good. Was your boss a woman in that scenario?
When I first went there, yes. Then later I had 2 male bosses. So, yeah, and I grew. Absolutely.
Okay.
LaWanna, can I chime in here? You
Sure.
have an incredibly gracious quality. And when I was at Shell Oil, and I've been doing some contract work with them, and I've got a program called the Workplace Navigation System, and it's transitioning into super genius teams. And it's called Beyond the Glass Ceiling, because when you are gracious and intentional and receptive, you're not battling for that promotion. So the woman gave you advice, you've got to be kind of tough, right? And you continued to use your graciousness, and it got you the high-paying job. Over time, they kept promoting you because they liked having you around, right? And you remind me of my grandmother, and in the sense that,
Kimmy?
well, no, let me tell you why. Let me explain why. So my grandmother became the right-hand gal for this real estate tycoon in the Bay Area. And she worked for him for 50 years. She was his girl Friday.
50?
Yeah, 50 years. And toward the end of her life, she was still signing checks for the company at home because he had this thing on his wall of the people he trusted most in the world. My grandmother's name was first on the list, Nancy Collins, and then God, and then his partner, right? But my grandmother had that amazing quality. I'm actually writing a chapter in a book about grandmothers, and he had this gracious quality that, like, when she died, she'd put on her will, there was a note that said, "No funeral, but if you must, only my closest friends." And we laughed hysterically because everyone thought they were her closest friend.
Wow.
My friends visited her, and all my cousins' friends visited her. And she would say, "Oh, darling, it's so wonderful to see you," every time. And people adored her. And that's why I say you remind me of my grandmother. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. I consider that a great honor.
That's awesome.
It is an incredible honor. And she was an incredible woman. And that is the quality of graciousness that I work on teaching women in the corporate world. Because that is, like, when you are gracious and you smile and you're happy and you bring the light to the world, you magnetize good things to you.
That's
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that's
it's funny you said
ceiling.
smile. It's funny you said smile because that was the start of the change for me. I used to didn't do that very often.
Oh, really?
Lying.
I just didn't. And a few people made comments like, "I never know if it's okay to talk to you." And I got to thinking about that one day, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to smile from now on. I don't care who it is. I'm going to smile and say hello.
Yeah.
And it turned things around. I didn't know how to start conversation, but I didn't have to any longer because I smiled. People started to with me.
Oh, good.
So a smile makes all the difference.
Let me ask Fox for a second. Fox, I'd love to hear from you, being our man on the call,
Okay.
what a woman's smile does for you.
It turns around my day. Like I'll
somehow I thought he was going to say something else.
What was I going to say, Marcia? You go ahead and say something. What was I going to say? What's in my head right now?
No, go ahead.
I like it. Carry on. I take this about a 1.5 mile walk every day, and just around the block, and the same route every day. And everybody I pass, I'll say hello to. And to be honest with you, out of maybe 10 people, maybe 5 will actually respond. And when I get a response from a female closer to my age, it does. It makes a difference when it's real too. That's the thing about LaWanna. Like the way you act, your sincerity, your graciousness, like Kimi said, is real. You're not angling for anything. So
right.
To me, you give me hope. You give me 100%. But it makes a big difference. I mean, it really, really does. I try to go out every single day and say hello to everybody that passes my way. And oftentimes about half respond. When I get a response from a female, it makes me feel more like a man.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's so funny you said that you take that block, that 1.5 mile walk in the mornings,
Every day.
because I used to take my jog in the mornings, and I, like you, would say hello to everyone. You know, just, hi, good morning, hi, good morning.
You get effort.
And one person looked at me like, what are you so damn happy about? Listen, I'm breathing, I'm walking, I'm smelling, I'm seeing. That's enough to be happy. And I found that a lot of the younger generation, they'd have their earplugs in and they'd be, and nobody would say anything. And the other generation, they're all on that. And then you have the Gen X's, they would look at you, what? But then the older people, they would say, hello, good morning. You know, they would appreciate a hello. So, I just wanted to relate to that with you.
Can I tell a little story?
Sure.
I mean, about the cell phone. I don't know her name. She's going to be nameless, but there's this rather attractive tenant around here who has a dog. And I love dogs, but I'm not into all the breed and stuff like that. It's a pit bull dog. And she, most of the time, has him around with a leash. But on Saturday, I look out my kitchen window, and there goes the pit bull walking across the parking lot. And this woman is behind the dog about 50 feet with her phone right in front of her, just going, I'm thinking,
wow,
my gracious, it's rampant. But yeah, you don't get that. See, I have this line in a poem. It's called Bad Technologies. And the line goes like this: Wi-Fi might seem to connect and tie, but it so too began the Great Divide. There's a lot less person-to-person interaction because everybody's world is in here.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times, an attractive woman would be walking past me and I'd say, hello, and she'd be on her phone and kind of look up like, who's that? Who's that piece of dust? So
that's funny. That's funny. So getting back, I like that we segued, but getting back to the woman being boss and the control issues and making more money, and we didn't even touch on the fact that sometimes in a relationship, one person might want their own way all the time. Let us talk now, assuming that we know that some of the roots of these problems may stem to maybe daddy issues with the ladies, or it could be that they have no idea how to communicate properly and do conflict resolution, or maybe if they feel that they are making enough money or making more money, now they have to act unfeminine. Is that a word? Unfeminine?
I think they have to act like men. So yes, unfeminine. They're afraid of sexual harassment, so they're trying to button it up.
Exactly. So since we know that those are some of the dynamics, how can we, as our esteemed group, how can we enlighten our audience how to counter these issues? I'd like to start with, hi, Margaret. Would you like to say a few words?
Hi, Margaret.
Margaret.
I have my mic on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Oh, great.
You might need to speak up a little bit, though. You're a little soft, but if you speak up a little bit, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay, someone else go ahead. Let me just figure out.
Oh, you sound great. You sound great.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
So Marcia, please just repeat. I was trying to figure out what was going on here. Just repeat. What is the question?
Well, what we have discussed thus far, the topic of the show is she's my boss.
Yes.
And we discussed both dynamics in the intimate relationship and in the corporate arena.
Right.
And we discussed issues that when women make more money than men, how they tend to be emasculating. how they reach this stance. Now they feel that they have to puff their chests out and be more manly than the man is, and it resonates into some kind of lack of respect or lack of accountability. And we're saying, now that we have all this fleshed out, what can we enlighten our audience with to counter these deficiencies? The lack of communication, we lost somebody. The lack of communication, the lack of conflict resolution. How can we now lend to the table some kind of solution for that? So I wanted to start with you, just to give your input. Or you don't even have to put that input. If you wanted to comment on something else that was said, then that's fine as well.
One of the things I believe is that sometimes it takes a woman so long to get there, or that in that position, or that she didn't expect to get there, or people didn't expect her to get there, that thing has to prove something. Once we realize we don't have anything to prove, this is who we are just as smart, we're just as intelligent, let us get there. And we don't have to put anyone down in order for us to look good. You understand? You don't have, not because I am the boss, I'm a female boss, means to say I have to put my male counterparts down. Forget that. Just be confident in who you are and confident in what you have achieved and where you are going, and then it's okay. You'll be all right. You do not have to put anyone else down.
I like that.
That's a great point. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you want to say anything to that, LaWanna?
I agree with what she just said. Just listening is a give and take situation. Listen to what the other person says sometimes, because maybe, just maybe, they have something that can benefit you that will help improve the situation. But sometimes we forget, and we're so busy trying to let people know we're in charge and get our point of view across, that we miss out on getting some valuable input. So I say, listen, make it a give and take.
I like that. I like that.
Good, good.
Kimmy, anything you want to add to the mix?
I would say that so using appreciation and really acknowledging the people around you is huge. Mm-hmm. And if you can speak up about who you are and what you're offering, but also appreciating the people around you, because that builds social currency.
Yes.
People want to uplift people who uplift them.
Yes.
And if you can not be battling and trying to prove yourself, that whole like proving and I need the power, it's a misdirected use of your energy. You can use that same energy, as we were talking with LaWanna, like she's this great example of using that same energy of graciousness and appreciation. And people want to see that person succeed, whether you're a man or a woman.
True.
And they want to, like, actually, men love to have a queen who is clear about what they need, is appreciative of the people around them, is receptive for the things that the people contribute to them, and empowers everybody, uplifts everybody. And those women in their lives, they want to see reach the stars. There's no glass ceiling for. And I'm so convinced of this. And I've seen it happen. I mean, one of my gals at Shell, she asked for a raise. She'd been in Nigeria, working in the oil industry with all men, and she'd fought for every raise she had. And then she took the program with me, and so she had an appointment set with her boss, her manager, and she said, Doug, I'm really glad to meet with you. I want to let you know that I really appreciate how you treat all of us, and you really empower me, and it makes me really happy. And there's something that I need that I don't think you know about. I am a really great team lead, and I would love the opportunity to help the young engineers get settled into their careers. And it would provide me this great opportunity to use all my skills. It would contribute to Shell. It would make you look great. And is there anything you need from me to make that happen? She had the promotion in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And Doug had to lift his jaw up off the floor, and he reported to me that nobody had ever asked for a raise in that way. Everybody walks in and goes, I need a raise. I'm really, like battles for it. I'm ready to duke it out, right? And all he wanted to do was help McKenna get this promotion because she was so gracious,
I like that.
Said a
I like that.
mouthful.
You did.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
a lot of women and guys will say this, and Fox, you might want to chime in here.
I'll chime in here in a minute, but yeah, go ahead.
A lot of guys tend to say, even just in a boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic, oh, I'll ask her what she wants. Oh, I'll take anything. Can't you be clear? Be clear about what it is that you want. And a lot of us women tend to suffer from that, being clear, being effective communicators. Yeah.
There is nothing in a woman's nature designed to get us to be clear until we are upset without it. And then we hint, we manipulate, we try to get everything, try to get you to figure it out and mind read, and you don't mind read. And guys, and Fox, correct me if I'm wrong, men just wish you would be a neon sign. Tell me what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
anything you want to add to this dynamic?
I do want to add a couple of things, just going off what everyone said. I think we need to change the vocabulary a little bit from a relationship to a partnership.
Yep.
I think that's something we need to do more of. I love what Margaret said. We need to stop putting everybody else down so we can feel better. That does not work. The greatest form of motivation in the world is encouragement.
Yes.
Yes.
Say that again for me.
What's that?
Say that again for me, Fox. The greatest motivation in the world is?
The greatest motivation in the world is encouragement.
Okay. I'm writing these things down here.
Yeah. I'm stealing that from a coach, but it makes sense in this context.
Absolutely.
It happens to be true.
Yeah, and it's true.
Anytime you lift someone up, you can see the change, the difference in them. That you recognize that they're capable of doing something, or that they did a great job, and what that does is make them want to do an even better job the next time.
Absolutely. And it also speaks to what Fox had said earlier, that he wants to feel needed or appreciated, right? So people always want to feel appreciated. That's just human nature. It makes no sense you doing something and nobody appreciates you doing it.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for such a robust conversation. Thank you all for joining us and tuning in. And now we've come to the time where I'd like to give each of you 2 minutes to just tell the audience where they can connect with you, what you have to offer, because I did promise them at the beginning of the show that you had something, a free gift for them. So just give us 2 minutes. Tell them who you are, where they can find you, what's a free gift, and just a little bit about yourself. And Fox, we're going to open the door for you this time. You want to go?
Oh, thank you. I'll step through it. I love it. So I'm Fox Beyer. I'm a speaker, author, teacher, and a coach. You can find me on my website, foxbeyer.com. That's FOXBEYER.com. There you can connect with me on all social media networks and via email. And if you would like, please go on to my website, email me off of there to tell me a little bit about yourself. And I would like to offer you a free copy of my book. It's a book of motivational and thought poetry called Letter Kindling, Igniting, Inspiring, and Evoking the Fire Within. Again, the website is foxbeyer.com, FOXBEYER.com.
Thank you, Fox. Fabulous.
Right.
Please reach out to him. The information will be in the chat box. And now let's go to Kimi Avary. Kimi.
Thank you. So my name's Kimi Avary. I'm a relationship navigation specialist. I focus on helping men and women to understand each other better. 80 to 90% of relationship challenges stem from misunderstandings between men and women. And what I'd like to do is give 3 tips to help men and women to understand each other. So the first is, I'll make the assumption that you don't know anything about the person you're talking to. Be curious is the second thing. Open the door to curiosity. And then also express your needs is number 3. Really get true to yourself, be curious about yourself, and tell people what you truly need without a demand, but make deals with them. So those are my 3 tips. And I am offering a complimentary relationship breakthrough session that can be found if you go to Kimi, K-I-M-I, Avary, AVARY.com/win. It's an opportunity for you to speak with me about your relationship situation, and we can find out how I can best support you, whether it's some tips that will just help you navigate it, and also you'll get some expert advice that will help you fine-tune your situation and make sense of it all. And that's a complimentary session. Normally those sessions are valued at $495. So that's a special gift. And then you can also get, at a different website, you can sign up for my e-zine list if you want to and that's consciouscouplesnetwork.com. If you just want to get my amazing e-zine series, it's called Building Treasured Relationships. It's a great opportunity to start learning about these differences, because we need to change the conversation between men and women and create conscious partnership. And this is the time of the new paradigm in partnership, and that's what we're ushering in with this work.
All right. Thank you, Kimi. That was a mouthful. And LaWanna, our surprise guest this evening, anything you want to add to the dynamic?
I just poked my nose in this evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the group. This has been amazing. I only have a tip sheet. A tip sheet. 12 tips on boosting your confidence. So if you're interested in receiving that, go to my website, LaWannaGParker.com. Put in your information there, and I'll be happy to email that tip sheet out to you. Just some boosters on helping you to build or regain your confidence. So that's it. This has been great.
Oh, thank you. And our surprise guest, Margaret. Margaret.
Surprise.
Anything you want to add? Anything you want to offer?
I just want to say that there is a conscious awareness towards natural and organic personal care products. And I am the owner of Nature Shore Personal Care Products. And you can get me at info@natureshorepcp.com. And we can talk some more about this movement from the chemical, the products, the products we're using right now. And we're moving away from the awareness about the toxic ingredients in these products towards now that awareness that is really moving, taking the personal care industry by storm. And so we can talk some more about that. And you can email me at info@natureshorepcp.com.
Fabulous.
All
Oh my God.
right.
I want to get to know you better.
Yes, absolutely.
Nicely done.
I thank you all for being here, and I am your host, Marcia Chambers, and as I said, I'm launching my product, Swell for Women, Sexual Wellness and Empowered Lifestyle Living for Women. Check me out at marciachambers.com/swellwomen, and we'll be launching this week. Yes, this week. So look out.
Congratulations.
And you could sign up to be part of my newsletter posse. In the playroom, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I ask that you give us your feedback in our green room, the SpeakerMC green room on Facebook. It's our group chat. And we could continue the conversation if you wish. So meet us there. talk to us. Hope you had a good time. I had a wonderful time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you very much.
It was
Who had
great.
something? I'm sorry, you were saying something, Margaret?
Yes, one correction. It's INFO, info.
Oh, I put INFOR.
Yes.
Oh, I'm typing. Sorry.
Okay, you got it.
So
Thank
type it in for me if you can.
Okay, I'll check it. Right.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
So thank you guys. Thank you so much. And let's continue on the green room. All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you,
Bye.
Marcia.
Bye.
Marcia, you are
LaWanna,
so,
Margaret.
I
Thank
so
you.
appreciate you having us.
Thank you for joining me.
That was fun.
Yes. Good. Good. Yay. I'm gonna stop the recording now.